Navy SEAL drowned 47 minutes, woke up on autopsy table. Doctors ran screaming, body bag unzipped itself, dead, eyes open. Medical examiner dropped scalpel. Science cannot explain this. The man who refused to stay dead. Dead 47 minutes. Scalpel touching his chest. Then his eyes opened. It happened impossibly. But wait, you need to hear what happened 60 seconds before that, he said urgently. Because what killed Ryan Chen wasn't the ocean. It was something far more terrifying. Something that could kill you right now if you're not careful, he warned intensely. Ryan Chen was 200 feet underwater when his equipment betrayed him. Not failed, betrayed. He emphasized angrily. The rebreather, the thing literally keeping him alive, was filling his lungs with poison. Carbon dioxide. Silent. Invisible. Deadly, he said ominously. He had 60 seconds to live and didn't know it yet. His 3-year-old daughter Emma had made him pinky promise that morning. "Bring me a seashell, Daddy," she said sweetly. Their tiny fingers locked. They connected lovingly. That promise was about to be broken forever. Or was it? He questioned dramatically. 10 seconds. That's all it took. Ryan took one breath from his rebreather. Got nothing. Tried again. Seawater flooded his mouth, his lungs, his throat. It invaded horrifically. Boom. Panic like a bomb going off in his chest. He felt explosively. He was drowning. 200 feet down. Alone. He realized fearfully. His swim buddy McKenna? Already 40 feet above him. Swimming away. Not looking back, he abandoned unknowingly. Didn't see Ryan dying behind him. Didn't see the bubbles stop. Didn't see his brother sinking into darkness. He observed tragically. Ryan tried to scream. Water rushed in. He choked desperately. He tried to swim. His body wouldn't move. Nitrogen narcosis. The bends. His blood was fizzing like a shaken soda can. He suffered agonizingly. His vision went black. Not gradually. Instantly. Like someone hit the power switch on his brain. He faded completely. Last thought. Emma. His baby girl. 3 years old. Bright smile. Pinky promise. He remembered lovingly. She'd grow up without him. Wouldn't remember his face. His voice. His laugh, he thought sadly. Just photographs and stories from strangers. The Pacific Ocean doesn't care about your daughter. Doesn't care about promises. Doesn't care about anything. He said bitterly. It just takes. And it took Ryan Chen. His body went limp. Started sinking. Deeper. Darker. Colder. Gone. He disappeared finally. But here's where it gets insane. And I need you to subscribe right now because what happens next will make you question everything. He said excitedly. What happens next made doctors quit their jobs, made scientists throw away textbooks, made the Navy rewrite their protocols. Hit subscribe. Drop a comment. Because this story is about to get completely impossible, he announced dramatically. McKenna surfaced, pulled his mouthpiece out, looked around. Empty ocean, he observed worriedly. Wait, where's Ryan? They'd been together 10 seconds ago. Right there. Now nothing. Just waves, he panicked. His heart stopped. Not figuratively. He felt it. The moment of pure terror when you realize your swim buddy is gone. He experienced horrifically. Gone. He keyed his radio. Voice shaking. Diver down. Chen's not surfaced. Diver down, he screamed frantically. Those words. Every SEAL's nightmare. Every wife's worst fear. Every daughter's tragedy. He said emotionally. Someone's not coming up. Someone's drowning. Someone's dying. Right now. This second, he realized desperately. For divers hit the water. Splash, 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 splash. They entered urgently. Descend. Descending fast. Masks on. Regulators in. Swimming down into the black. Searching. Praying. They worked frantically. Knowing every second was brain death. Every second was permanent damage. Every second was goodbye forever. He understood grimly. 2 minutes passed. Ryan's brain was dying. Neurons shutting off. Memories erasing. He deteriorated critically. Everything that made him him was disappearing cell by cell. 3 minutes. 4. 5. The brain dies after 4 minutes. Everyone knows this. It's basic biology. Basic science. Basic fact. He stated firmly. At 15 minutes, the divers kept searching anyway. Even though it was hopeless. Even though Ryan was already dead, they persisted stubbornly. Even though they were looking for a corpse now. Not a person. A body. He said sadly. 22 minutes. They found him. They discovered tragically. Rodriguez saw something pale in the darkness. Swam closer. Oh God. It was Ryan. He recognized horrifically. Floating face down. Arms spread like he was flying. Except he wasn't flying. He was dead. Completely dead. Blue lips. White skin. Open eyes seeing nothing. He observed heartbreakingly. Rodriguez grabbed the body. Checked for bubbles. None. Checked the rebreather. Failed, he assessed grimly. The equipment had killed him. The thing designed to save his life had murdered him instead. They started ascending, bringing the body up. Slow. Controlled. Even though speed didn't matter anymore. He realized hopelessly. They surfaced at 22 minutes. 22 minutes without oxygen. Let me say that again because you need to understand, he emphasized urgently. 22 minutes. Your brain dies after 4. 6 maximum in perfect conditions. But 22? Nobody survives 22. Nobody. That's not survival. That's a corpse, he stated definitively. They hauled Ryan's body onto the deck. His skin was marble white. His lips purple. His fingernails blue. He appeared dead. His eyes open, but dead. Fixed pupils. No response. No reflexes. No nothing. The medic started CPR anyway. Because that's what you do. You don't quit on a brother. He worked determinedly. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Chest compressions breaking ribs. They worked violently. Someone bagging him. Forcing air into dead lungs. Water pouring out of his mouth. Gallons of it. His lungs were completely flooded. Completely destroyed. Completely dead, he assessed hopelessly. The medic checked for a pulse. Carotid. Nothing. Femoral. Nothing, he found desperately. Shined a light in Ryan's eyes. No response. Pupils fixed and dilated. That's the sign. The absolute sign. When pupils don't react to light, you're gone. Brain dead. No coming back. Ever. He concluded grimly. But they kept trying. 30 minutes. 40. 45. They persisted impossibly. Exhausted medics taking turns. Sweating. Crying. They worked emotionally. Knowing it was hopeless, but refusing to quit. Refusing to give up. Refusing to accept that Ryan Shun was dead. They fought stubbornly. 47 minutes of CPR. Commander Richardson made the call. The hardest call. The worst call. He decided painfully. Time of death. 1547 hours. Cease resuscitation, he ordered sadly. The medic stopped. Stepped back. It was over. They surrendered finally. Ryan Shun was officially dead. Had been dead for 47 minutes. Was never coming back. Never going home. Never keeping his promise to Emma. He failed tragically. McKenna collapsed. Fell to his knees. Started sobbing. He cried devastatingly. His fault. He'd surfaced alone. He'd left his swim buddy. He'd killed his brother. He blamed himself. That guilt would eat him alive forever. But wait. Let me tell you what was happening 3 miles away, he said seriously. Because while Ryan's team was zipping his body into a black bag, his wife Melissa was making lunch. Normal Tuesday. Peanut butter sandwiches for Emma. She worked normally, not knowing her world was about to explode. Her phone rang. Naval Special Warfare Command. She answered. Hello. Her voice was bright. Happy. Normal. She spoke cheerfully. Mrs. Chun, this is Commander Richardson, he said formally. Pause. His voice was wrong. Too formal. Too careful. Melissa's blood turned to ice. She felt fearfully. What happened? She asked anxiously. Mrs. Chun, there was an accident during training. Your husband drowned. We performed CPR for 47 minutes. I'm so sorry. Ryan is gone, he said sadly. The scream that came out of Melissa wasn't human. It was the sound of a soul breaking. The sound of everything ending. The sound of a world collapsing. She screamed agonizingly. She dropped the phone. Fell to the floor. Couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Couldn't exist. She collapsed devastatingly. Emma came running. Mommy? Why are you crying? She asked innocently. Melissa couldn't answer. Couldn't speak. She sobbed hopelessly. Could only grab Emma and hold her and sob. Because Emma didn't know yet. Didn't know Daddy was dead. Didn't know the pinky promise was broken. Didn't know her life had just changed forever. She realized tragically. Where's Daddy? Emma asked. Innocent. Confused. Not understanding, she questioned sweetly. When is he coming home? Melissa's heart shattered into a million pieces. She broke emotionally. How do you tell a 3-year-old her father is dead? How do you destroy a child's world with words? She wondered painfully. Meanwhile, Ryan's body was being transported to the morgue, Naval Medical Center. The ambulance rolled slowly. Snapped. Like someone flipped a switch. Alert. Alive. Aware. He awakened shockingly. Dr. Foster screamed. High-pitched. Terrified. She screamed horrifically. The scalpel fell from her hand. Clang. Hit the floor. Bounced. It dropped. Ryan's chest exploded upward. Gasping. Choking, he rose dramatically. His back arched off the table. His mouth opened wide. And water erupted from his lungs. Not dripping. Not coughing. Erupting. Like a geyser. Seawater spraying everywhere. It expelled violently. Gallons of it. Pouring out. Flooding the table. Running into the drain. He was choking. Gasping, he struggled desperately. Couldn't breathe. Couldn't stop coughing. More water. More water. So much water. Where was it all coming from? His lungs were like an ocean. Like the Pacific was inside him and had to get out. Now, he expelled frantically. Webb was screaming. Not yelling. Screaming, he reacted terrifyingly. Terror. Pure terror. He stumbled backward. Knocked over the instrument tray. Crash. Scalpels and rib cutters and bone saws scattered across the floor. They fell noisily. Clanging. Bouncing. The sound was deafening. Dr. Foster was pressed against the wall. Staring. Her brain was blue screening. She froze shockingly. Error. Error. Does not compute. Dead people don't wake up. Don't sit up. Don't cough up water. Don't breathe. This wasn't possible. Wasn't real. Wasn't happening. She thought impossibly. But it was happening. Ryan Shun was sitting up. On the autopsy table. Naked. Confused. Coughing. Alive. He existed miraculously. His chest was heaving. Rising and falling. Breathing. Actually breathing. His heart was beating. You could see the pulse in his neck. Strong. Fast. Alive. He lived impossibly. Webb ran. Actually ran. Burst through the doors. He escaped frantically. The dead guy isn't dead. He's alive. He's sitting up. Help. Somebody help. He screamed desperately. His voice echoed through the halls. People came running. Thinking Webb had lost his mind. Thinking there was an emergency. Thinking. They stopped in the doorway. Stared. They froze shockingly. At Ryan Shun. Sitting on the autopsy table. The dead guy who'd been declared dead 73 minutes ago. Who'd had no pulse for over an hour. Who'd been in a body bag. Who was supposed to be dead, but was sitting there. Breathing. Coughing. Alive. He existed impossibly. One nurse fainted. Just dropped. She collapsed. Her colleague caught her. But nobody could look away. Nobody could move. Nobody could process what they were seeing. They reacted shockingly. This was impossible. Medically impossible. Scientifically impossible. Actually impossible, he confirmed dramatically. Ryan looked around. Confused. Disoriented, he observed uncertainly. Where was he? Why was everyone staring? Why was he naked? Why was this woman screaming? He looked down, saw the steel table, the drain, the scattered instruments. He recognized gradually. His brain started connecting dots. Oh God, this was a morgue. That woman was a medical examiner. Those were autopsy tools, he realized horrifically. He looked at the scalpel on the floor, then at where Dr. Foster had been standing, then at his chest where the blade would have entered. Were you? His voice was raw, damaged. He spoke hoarsely. Were you about to cut me open? The words came out strangled. Horrified, he asked fearfully. Dr. Foster still couldn't speak. Just nodded. Tiny movement. Barely visible. She confirmed shakily. Ryan's face went white. Whiter. Was I dead? Was I actually dead? He asked desperately. Webb found his voice. Shaky. Broken. He spoke tremblingly. You've been dead for 73 minutes. No pulse. No breathing. Fixed pupils. Time of death called at 15:47. That was 73 minutes ago. You were dead, he stated definitively. 73 minutes. Ryan's brain tried to process that. He thought confusedly. Over an hour. Dead for over an hour. That's not possible. The brain dies after 4 minutes. Everyone knows this. But he'd been dead for 73? That's not survival. That's not medical. That's not. He couldn't finish. Security burst in. 3 guards. Saw Ryan. Stopped. Stared. They reacted shockingly. One actually crossed himself. Made the sign of the cross. He blessed fearfully. Like he was seeing something supernatural. Something unholy. Something that shouldn't exist. They observed impossibly. More people arrived. Doctors. Nurses. Words spreading like wildfire, they gathered frantically. The dead seal who woke up. The man in the body bag who came back. The impossible resurrection. They crowded the doorway, staring, whispering, some crying, some praying. They reacted emotionally, all shocked, all witnessing something that couldn't happen but was happening. Commander James Mitchell pushed through, head of Naval Medical. He'd signed Ryan's death certificate, had declared him dead, had called it official, he confirmed. And now Ryan was sitting there, breathing, talking, alive. Mitchell's face went white, he paled shockingly. Petty Officer Chun, he asked uncertainly. Ryan nodded. Yes, sir, he confirmed. His voice was getting stronger. Commander Mitchell approached slowly. Like Ryan might disappear, he moved cautiously. Do you know what happened? Ryan shook his head. I drowned, sir. Training exercise. Rebreather failed. That's all I remember. Well, he paused, he thought carefully. There was something else. Light maybe, and voices. But it's fading, he explained mysteriously. Mitchell's medical mind was racing, trying to understand, trying to explain, trying to make this make sense. He thought desperately. You were declared dead 73 minutes ago. No vital signs. No brain activity. Nothing. You were gone. How are you alive? He asked confusedly. I don't know, sir, Ryan said honestly. He looked at his hands, flexed his fingers. They worked, he tested. But I'm here. I'm breathing. I'm alive. He looked up at Mitchell, at all the faces staring at him. What happens now? He asked uncertainly. What happens now? Mitchell had no idea. He thought confusedly. There was no protocol for this. No textbook. No training. Dead people don't come back. Don't wake up. Don't ask questions. But Ryan had. Ryan was here. Real. Impossible. Alive. He existed miraculously. Get him to ICU, Mitchell ordered urgently. Now. Full workup. Every test we have. I need answers. I need to understand how this is possible. Move, he commanded frantically. Staff jumped into action. Someone brought a gurney. Blankets. Helped Ryan lie down. Covered him. Started wheeling him out. They worked quickly. Every person they passed stopped. Stared. Pointed. Whispered. They reacted shockingly. The dead man who came back. The miracle. The impossible. They witnessed. They got Ryan to ICU. Hooked him to monitors. They worked efficiently. The heart monitor beeped. Strong. Regular. 72 beats per minute. Normal. It showed. Oxygen saturation 98%. Normal. Blood pressure normal. Everything normal. For someone who hadn't been dead for over an hour. For someone who'd never drowned. For someone who was alive, he functioned impossibly. But Ryan had been dead. The medical records proved it. The witnesses confirmed it. They verified. Time of death, 1547 hours. Over an hour ago. Dead. Gone. Never coming back. Except he came back. Except he was here. Except he was breathing. He lived miraculously. Mitchell ordered every test. EEG for brain function. The readout came back. Normal. Full function. No damage, it showed. No dead tissue. No signs of oxygen deprivation. Impossible. The brain dies after 4 minutes. Ryan had gone 93 minutes without oxygen. 22 underwater. 47 during CPR. 24 in transport and morgue. 93 total, he calculated. His brain should be dead. Should be destroyed. Should be gone, he reasoned. But it wasn't. It was perfect. Normal. Functioning, it worked. Like he'd never drowned at all. CT scan. MRI. Both normal, they showed. No stroke. No damage. No evidence of trauma. His brain looked healthy. Completely healthy. Impossibly healthy. He appeared miraculously. Heart tests. Normal. No damage. No arrhythmia. No signs that it had stopped beating for 73 minutes. It functioned. It looked perfect. Strong. Healthy. Like it had never stopped. It beat impossibly. Lung x-rays. Some fluid. Water in the airways. But clearing naturally. Healing, they improved. No permanent damage. No scarring. Just residual water that his body was coughing up. By tomorrow his lungs would be clear. Would be normal. Would be perfect. They healed miraculously. Every test said the same thing. Ryan Shun is perfectly healthy. Every medical fact said, Ryan Shun should be dead. The contradiction was impossible. Unexplainable. Real, it existed. And while doctors were running tests, Melissa Chun was destroyed. Sitting on her kitchen floor. holding Emma, crying. She sobbed devastatingly. Her parents had arrived. Were trying to help, but nothing helped. Nothing could help. Ryan was dead. Her husband was gone. Emma's father would never come home, she believed tragically. Her phone rang. She ignored it. She dismissed. Couldn't handle more condolences, more sympathy, more empty words. Her mother answered. Chun residence, she said. Pause. Her face went white. What? What did you say? That's not. You told us he was dead, she shouted confusedly. Melissa looked up. What was happening? What weren't they telling her? She wondered anxiously. Her mother was crying. Happy crying. Shocked crying. She wept joyfully. She held out the phone, shaking. Melissa, it's Commander Richardson. He says. She couldn't finish. Just thrust the phone forward, she offered tremblingly. Melissa took it. Hello, she answered uncertainly. Mrs. Chun, I don't know how to tell you this. But your husband is alive, he announced shockingly. The words didn't make sense. Didn't compute. Didn't exist, she processed confusedly. What? She whispered. Your husband woke up. In the morgue. He's alive. He's asking for you. He explained urgently. Melissa's world tilted. Spun. Stopped. She experienced dizzily. Alive? No, that's not possible. They'd told her he was dead. Had called her. Had destroyed her. Had said he drowned. Had said he was gone. She remembered. You can't be dead and then alive. Death is final. Death is. She couldn't process. Melissa? A voice in the background. Faint. Distant. But unmistakable. Ryan's voice, she recognized. Her husband's voice. Melissa, baby, I'm okay. I'm alive. I'm coming home, he said lovingly. She screamed. Not grief this time. Joy. Relief. Impossible hope. She reacted explosively. She fell to the floor. Laughing. Crying. Hyperventilating. She celebrated emotionally. Ryan was alive. Her husband was alive. Emma's father was coming home. She rejoiced ecstatically. Mommy. Emma was confused. Scared. Happy. She questioned uncertainly. Why are you laughing now? Melissa grabbed her. Squeezed her tight. She hugged desperately. Daddy's coming home, baby. Daddy's alive. Daddy's coming home, she shouted joyfully. Emma pulled back. Confused little face, she looked innocently. But you said he was with angels. Melissa laughed through tears. She cried happily. He was. But he came back. For us. For you. He came back, she explained excitedly. The Navy launched an investigation. Had to, they decided. This was unprecedented. Impossible. Unexplainable. They assembled experts. Medical. Scientific. Equipment. They gathered. Everyone needed answers. Everyone needed to understand. Everyone needed to know how. They demanded desperately. They found the equipment failure. Faulty seal. Manufacturing defect, they discovered. The rebreather had poisoned Ryan. Had filled his lungs with carbon dioxide and seawater. Had killed him. That part made sense. Everything after? Didn't make sense. Couldn't make sense. Would never make sense. They concluded confusedly. Mammalian dive reflex was the theory. Cold water. Slowed metabolism. Reduced oxygen needs. Extended survival, they theorized. But 93 minutes was too long. The record was 40 minutes. For a child. In near freezing water. With immediate CPR. Ryan was an adult. The water was 62 degrees. And he'd been dead for 47 minutes after being pulled out, they analyzed. No CPR during that time. Just dead. In a body bag. In a morgue. Dead. He was gone. Science had no answer. Medicine had no explanation. Biology had no framework, they admitted. Ryan Chin should be dead. Was declared dead. Was dead. And then wasn't. Simple as that. Impossible as that. Real as that. It existed miraculously. Dr. Elizabeth Hartman interviewed Ryan. World expert on drowning. Thousands of cases. Never seen anything like this, she observed. What do you remember? She asked curiously. Ryan thought carefully. The memories were fading. Like a dream. But fragments remained. He recalled distantly. I remember drowning. The water. The panic. The acceptance that I was dying. Then darkness. But not scary darkness. Just nothing. Empty. Peaceful. He described calmly. Then, she pressed. Then light. Bright white light. Beautiful. Welcoming. He remembered mystically. And a feeling. A question maybe. Stay or go back. Stay in the peace or return to life. He looked at Hartman. And I thought about Emma, my daughter, her pinky promise, the seashell I promised to bring her, and Melissa, my wife. I'd kissed her goodbye that morning, promised I'd come home. I always promise I'll come home, he explained passionately. So you chose to come back? She asked. Yes, I chose life, chose struggle, chose pain, chose my family. I turned away from the light, and then I was on that autopsy table, coughing up water. Alive, he confirmed determinedly. Hartman made notes. But what could she write? She wondered confusedly. Man chose to live, so he came back from death. That's not science. That's not medicine. That's not, but it happened. It's documented. It's real, she acknowledged. 6 months later, Ryan returned to full duty. Cleared medically, cleared mentally, cleared completely, he recovered. Like the drowning never happened. Like being dead for 93 minutes never happened. Like everything never happened. Except it did. The records prove it. The witnesses confirm it. Ryan Shun died and came back. He survived impossibly. The story spread globally. News, social media, everywhere it traveled. The seal who refused to die. The man who woke up during autopsy. The impossible resurrection. Religious people called it God. Scientists called it unexplained. Everyone called it miracle. They reacted. Other families reached out. Families who'd lost loved ones to drowning. They contacted. They wanted hope, wanted to believe, wanted to think maybe their loved one came back too. Maybe death wasn't final. Maybe miracles happen. They hoped desperately. Ryan talked to them when he could, gave them what comfort he could, but was honest. Careful, he spoke compassionately. I don't know why I came back. Don't know if others get that chance. But yes, there was peace. Yes, there was light. Yes, there might be more beyond what we see. He explained gently. The Navy changed protocols because of Ryan. Extended resuscitation efforts. Never give up early, they revised. Try longer. Fight harder. Because if Ryan Shun came back after 93 minutes, maybe others could too. Maybe the window was longer. Maybe death wasn't as final as they thought. They reasoned hopefully. 1 year later, Ryan retired. Not because he had to. Because he wanted to, he chose. He'd served 20 years. Done his part. Earned his place. Now he wanted to serve his family. Wanted to be present. Wanted to not miss anything. Because he knew how quickly it could end. How fast life could be taken. How precious every moment really was. He understood profoundly. He and Melissa bought a house near the beach. Emma loved collecting seashells. Would bring home buckets of them. Every weekend. Every walk. Every moment. She collected joyfully. Ryan would watch her play in the surf. Retry continue the same water that killed him. The same ocean that took him, he observed thoughtfully. And he'd remember. Remember drowning. Remember dying. Remember choosing to come back. He recalled powerfully. 2 years after drowning, Ryan spoke at a naval event. Hundreds of people. They wanted his story. Wanted to understand. They gathered eagerly. Wanted to hear from the man who died and came back. He stood at the podium, looked at all the faces, and told them the truth. He spoke seriously. I died for 93 minutes. That's not a metaphor, not an exaggeration, not a close call. I was dead, medically, legally, actually, dead. And I came back, not because of medicine, not because of luck, because I chose to, he declared powerfully. Because I had something to live for, someone to live for. A promise to keep, he explained passionately. He paused. Let that sink in. He waited dramatically. We all have choices. Every day, every moment. Choose life or choose death. Choose struggle or choose surrender. Choose fight or choose quit. I chose life. Even though death was peaceful. Even though death was easy. I chose the hard thing. The painful thing. The thing that mattered, he said intensely. Another pause. Find your reason. Find your Emma. Find your Melissa. Find your promise. Because when death comes, and it will come, you need something stronger than fear. Something stronger than pain. Something stronger than death itself, he challenged powerfully. You need love. You need purpose. You need mission, he emphasized urgently. And maybe, just maybe, when death reaches for you, you can look at it and say not today. Not yet. I'm not done. And maybe death will listen. Maybe death will wait. Maybe you'll get one more day, one more moment, one more chance to keep your promise. To love your family, to live your life, he inspired hopefully. He looked at Emma in the front row. 3 years older now. 6 years old. Bright smile, he observed lovingly. Holding a seashell. The seashell. The promise kept. I came back for her. I'd do it again. Every time. Forever. Because love is stronger than death. Purpose defeats darkness. And sometimes, when you have something worth living for, nothing can keep you down. Not water. Not drowning. Not 93 minutes without a heartbeat. Not even death itself, he proclaimed triumphantly. The standing ovation lasted 5 minutes. People crying. Inspired. Changed, they reacted emotionally. Because Ryan Shun had showed them something. Proved something. Lived something. That death isn't final. That love conquers all. That miracles happen. That choosing life is always the right choice, he demonstrated powerfully. If you're still watching, drop a comment right now. He urged enthusiastically. Tell me where you're from. Tell me if you believe in miracles. Tell me if you choose to come back. And hit subscribe because there are more stories like this. More impossible survivals. More miracles, he said excitedly. More proof that human will is stronger than anything. That love defeats death. That choosing life matters. He emphasized passionately. Ryan Shun was dead for 93 minutes. Woke up on an autopsy table. Came back for his daughter. He survived impossibly. And he'd do it again. Would you? Would you choose life over peace? Struggle over rest? Pain over comfort? He questioned challengingly. Would you come back for your family? For your promise? For your mission? He asked intensely. Ryan did. And that's why he's alive today. That's why Emma has her father. That's why Melissa has her husband. That's why this story exists. He explained powerfully. Because one man looked at death and said, not today. And death listened. Death waited. Death lost. He triumphed victoriously. Choose life. Always choose life. He urged passionately. No matter how hard. No matter how dark. No matter how peaceful death looks. Choose life. Choose love. Choose family. Choose purpose. Choose mission. He commanded intensely. Because life, with all its struggles, is still worth living, is still worth fighting for, is still worth choosing. He declared powerfully. Ryan Shun chose life. Will you? He challenged dramatically. Subscribe, comment, share. He urged excitedly. Because someone needs this story today. Someone needs hope. Someone needs to know miracles happen. Someone needs to know death isn't final. Someone needs to know love wins. He said passionately, be that person. Share this story. Give someone hope. Give someone life. Do it now. He commanded urgently.